Today I want to talk about peace and quiet and giving yourself time. Peace and quiet and giving yourself time. Where to start? You know, there's no good place to talk about peace and quiet because if you talk about peace and quiet, you basically ruin it. There's no good way to talk about peace and quiet other than I just want people to be aware that they need peace and quiet in their lives. You have to find peace and quiet from within and realize that you give yourself the time that you think you need. But peace and quiet definitely brings you closer to your eternal essence and definitely brings you more peace if you refuse to, I don't know. There's a peace that comes from ignoring things. It's like, I found peace because I just ignored all the things that I didn't want to be subjected to. There's a power in removing yourself from situations that are too loud and annoying for your own comfort. It's like there's literally nothing wrong with living in peace and quiet. You can find, you can definitely find peace in solitude. And you can definitely find peace in silence and stillness and not worry about, anything. Just peace is the lack of worry. Not that's not all peace is, but peace for me is quiet and silence and stillness. But also people. People can bring you peace, but really, you can only bring peace to yourself. There's no way around the fact that often people are chaotic systems within the universe. It's like they bring us happiness, our friends, and our family, but they don't bring us peace. They bring us love, but love isn't peace. Love can lead to peace within you, but it doesn't often bring peace. It's like it probably brings you more chaos than peace. So peace is I desire peace more than I do, but it's not really a desire. It's just I want peace more than I want love. I would rather find peace with somebody than love with somebody. I mean, peace is kind of like a dream. Not really, though. How do I explain this? I don't know. So, peace and quiet, everything arises from peace and quiet. The most beautiful things arise from a place of calmness and stillness and just knowing and intention and that kind of stuff. It seems so reciprocated. It seems so reciprocal now. It's like, I don't know, I want something new and amazing and special that I make myself that arises out of my own mind. Peace and quiet. You have to find peace from within. Quiet is also made from within. It's like people don't know how loud their minds have become. Often people's minds are screaming something at me. It's like people's minds just scream at me constantly. It's like I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear your problems written all over you. It's like that's what happens when you're really empathetic, though. It's like you can see people's problems just written on them, and instead of feeling that I can approach people from a place of peace, which I've always tried to do, it's like I want to approach you from peace and stillness and from my soul, not from a place of like, da 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 da, I need something, like we're gonna be a part of this rhythm of love, and it's gonna be immediately initiated, and we're just gonna have a jiving conversation together. Like that's not always possible, but if you approach from peace and silence and stillness, there's there's a hidden symphony in the peace. Peace arises from a hidden symphony. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is you can't always expect people to be at peace. I mean, I would like everyone to be at peace, but you can't expect everyone to be at peace, and that you can't like approach people and think that this person is also going to be um, um, in a peaceful state. I don't know. It's like the state of the universe is essentially a reflection of yourself. So bring yourself to the most peaceful place you can inside, and then you should find peace outside. It's like I want to find peace within my life, but you can never escape people. I mean, people are essentially highly chaotic systems. Um, like humanity itself is just a level of chaos in the universe. Love is chaos. Love is war. So it's like even if you assume that humanity is just love, the earth is just love, everything has love at its heart, you still see that love is chaos. So what attracts us to each other in our hearts? I mean, I'm attracted to your heart. I'm not attracted to your mind. I'm attracted to who you are inside in your heart. And often there's not peace there. Often it's like you have knots in there. You have like contortions and you've locked it down your heart. It's been like, you know, something that's been, it's lost its regular rhythm with the universe, and instead it's become so abnormal that it just isn't even real. I mean, you can't you can't raise your frequency past the frequency of your heart. It's like I'm gonna raise my brain to the highest frequency. It's like, yeah, but your body is you don't want to lose your body though. You can never raise your frequency past your heartbeat. Like the closer you get to your heartbeat, the there's no like, oh, I'm gonna become like I'm a human. There's no like you can become a higher being for a moment, but it never lasts. Like you can't just be alone as like God forever. Um, all I'm saying is that when people say like, "Oh, I'm gonna raise my frequency," like, well, don't raise it past your heart, because if you forget your heart, you'll just be lost in your mind. And peace is certainly found in the heart. I mean, the heart is really where you should foster peace. First, foster peace beyond your thoughts, but then foster peace in your heart. The more awareness you can bring to your heart, and the more beautiful a space you can create in your heart, um, the more beautiful resonance you'll have with the universe, and the better your experience will be. Because you want synchronicity to flow from the heart. And I mean that when I say that, I mean that you don't want to be in your head thinking that you're going to navigate the world from a place of your head. You want to manifest the world, not passively, but from your heart. It's, yes, I understand. It's not a passive thing. It's not just like, I'm going to sit back and let everything happen to me. I mean, there is a beauty in passivity, in that you allow things to happen that are beyond your control. It's like, I can't change something, so I literally have to be a passive observer. Often we are forced to be passive observers. I mean, just think of all the times that you wanted to do something but couldn't. You were literally forced to become a passive observer of people's experiences. Like, this happens a lot. It's like, You're forced to become a passive observer of people's experiences. It's like everyone on Instagram, everyone doing everything that you want to do. You're literally forced, like millions and millions of people and countries, whole countries are forced, like not forced, but they see that we're like posting things, and it's just kind of disgusting, honestly. It's like, okay, great, you're like boosting your ego for the whole world. Now the whole world can see that you're, you know, banging some hot chick or something. Like, I am forced to become like a passive observer. I can't. I mean, that happens like a million times. I'm just like, okay, I get it. Like, you have a great wife. I want that stuff too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm gonna be true to myself and say, I want that stuff too. I want, um, but I mean, more than stuff, I want relationships and peace within my mind and resonance with the world to build something greater, like a dream, like I want a dream of reality. I want to live in a dream of reality, and I want everybody to join me there. I don't want a I don't want a fractured dream, um, which is nearly impossible to reconcile within yourself. It's like, I don't know, do our heartbeats beat as one, or are there, I don't know. It's just everything's just a game. Sometimes it feels like that. I think I'll find the answer in peace, though. Peace and quiet. Because, I don't know, it's just, you can be happy within peace and quiet. Because there's no one around to run into you and say, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to be. Um, so that's what I'm really searching for, is peace and quiet. And a place to be within the peace and quiet of nature. Um, because it seems like, I mean, the city for me is just not a place I want to be. It's just like highly chaotic and um, highly chaotic. I don't know. It's hard for me to realize, except within peace and quiet, that things are all connected. Sometimes I feel like nothing really has a purpose. Why do I even exist? Um, and I've looked deep within, and sometimes it's fun to not have a purpose. I mean, you were born without a purpose. Your purpose gets more concrete as you grow. You never truly reach your purpose, because I think finding your purpose is so much fun. Um, so I think everybody needs more peace and quiet, but sometimes it becomes too quiet. It's like, clearly this is a different silence than a peaceful silence. This could be like a, you know, okay, is this a peaceful silence, or is this like a, we are all diametrically opposed to each other, we're just not allowing ourselves to be, together. Like, that's a different type of silence. It's like, you find peace there as well, though. It's strange. Silence takes many different forms, um, and everything arises from silence. So silence literally takes all form. Like the unmanifested is found within the silence. So there's a silence that exists between people who are fighting. It's like, you say, I want money, you want money, now we both want money, and then we silently agree that this is a good fight. Um, but then what happens is that we lose the musical connection between us. I mean, there is no music anymore. It's just, we're completely opposed to each other, but we've accepted it. Um, I mean, that's a strange level of silence and peace and quiet that I've had to deal with. It's like, there's a there's a there's a acceptance that you find in peace and quiet. It's like, I'm just going to peacefully fight for myself, And if everybody peacefully fights for themselves, then we will be at peace. It's like, not true. You can accept that things are the way they are and that you might have to continue fighting for yourself and try to do it in a way that appears peaceful, but inevitably it will hurt you because you're fighting yourself. It's like you have to stop fighting yourself in all regards, even pretending, like peacefully pretending that you know that capitalism works in such a way that you just have to keep fighting. You just have to keep working. You just have to. I mean, there's a silence there, though, and it's becoming more and more depressing. It's like this isn't the peace and quiet that I desire. This is a fake version of peace and quiet. It's like it's just allowing yourself to be, I don't know, allowing yourself to be a part of the system. That's all I can say, really. I mean, it's kind of inevitable. Allowing yourself to be a part of the system often leads to, but you can outthink yourself and not out be yourself, but find peace from within and do the right thing no matter what. Then you can die happy. If not, then you doom the world to further pain. And don't pretend that that fight even exists, because you can find peace within the present moment. I mean, the future doesn't technically exist. All we have is now. All I have is now. If I look deep within myself, I'll realize that, we all were, we all continue to, and we all will continue to, if we're honest with ourselves, continue fighting for ourselves. But as you fight for yourself, you fight against yourself. Fighting is never something that should be valued. It's like, oh, he's a good fighter. He makes money for my company. Yes, but he's still fighting himself because there's another person in another company who's doing the same thing, and they're diametrically opposed to each other. I mean, when will we realize that we are fighting ourselves and that love actually does exist, and it should cover the world, and that should be enough love for everybody to be happy and get what they desire? And I'm not just talking about normal, oh, you get what you want. Maybe you're tricked into thinking that you want something that somebody else wants. I mean, often that's the case. It's like I've had to work for people's dreams before. It's like, whose dream am I even building? This is the shittiest dream that I can imagine. It's like, who's the number one dreamer? They should really be on top, because everything is just a dream. Don't be mistaken. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled into thinking that you have to carry somebody else's weight. It's like that weight isn't even yours. And things will come back to you. I mean, like, that's the thing that I'm really worried about, though, is like somebody is tricked into, I don't know, it's going to be hard. It's just going to be hard. It's going to be hard to reconcile what we've done to each other, that's for sure. It's going to be hard to realize that we're connected after we've really, I mean, how can you say that we're connected if you believe that you have more money than me? It's like, you never met me, you don't know who I am, but I don't believe that we're connected if you have more money than me. I mean, just the statement alone is interesting to me, because it's like, okay, you have more money than me, how are we connected? You believe that you are valued more and have, like, if I'm talking to a billionaire who believes, and they in a sense they do, I guess, but you have like infinitely more potential than me, I'm not just gonna like allow you to believe that. We can't even have a conversation at that point. What if I have like negative $500 in my bank and you have like $1 billion? Like, what connection would I be missing? It's like, here's somebody that's valued way higher than me because they own like companies and everything. Like there's something within me that doesn't want to talk to somebody like that. It's like I don't know you. I don't know. I don't know you at all. You have no. I have no interest in who you are because you believe something that is so like untrue. I believe my potential is higher than yours because you have money. At this point, it's kind of funny, but I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I think we can find peace within ourselves and realize that happiness is found from within. It doesn't matter if I have $1 billion. It matters how happy I am and how good of life I have, what I can imagine, and what I can dream. Um, and often that leads to money, but it doesn't have to. I mean, you can just be at peace with yourself and with everything and just be happy forever. That's the goal. Um, because I don't believe in time. I just don't. I don't believe that time exists. So it's like if I really had a deep conversation with somebody who had a lot of money, um, I don't know. It's like not silence. It's not peace and it's not quiet. What you really own is a level of chaos. It's like I have the ability to create peace within all of this chaos, I suppose. But you own the chaos. You own that. You own a large amount of people's pain and they continue to work for you. I mean, just be aware of the actual reality of what you own. I think that's the illusion of money. It's like an illusion that you don't have to know what it is. But when you realize what it actually is, you'll be surprised that it's not the peace and quiet you thought it was, or that it's not the peace and quiet you thought it was going to bring you in the future. It's just not. You thought it was going to be some potential for you to create yourself in the future. But you can only use your own knowledge of yourself and knowing of yourself to create yourself in the future. I mean, the future doesn't exist though. I mean, it just doesn't exist. There is no future. It's just I am reformed and refound in different moments. That is all that I believe time really is. All we have is this moment. I truly believe this is something that people have to realize is a good thing. That all we have is this moment. If we really found the love inherent within the universe, we would find that we would find peace within ourselves. And awareness is half the battle, but then making the steps to change what you see is the next step of it's not a battle, it's more of like a artistic process of creation that continues to unfold. Is money involved? Yes, inherently. Do the most beautiful things arise from peace and quiet? Yes. Silence and stillness and thinking, and I don't know. We have to change. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to just continue to become more aware for myself and refuse to be pushed around. Never be pushed around, but to repeat the same things over again is not what I desire. I do not want to do the same thing over again. I guess this time I'm trying to find somewhere that I'm more happy and more at peace because I have had, I don't know, jobs before and I don't know, you can only find peace within yourself. The problem always arises when you realize that you have to contend with the state of humanity, which is literally an energetic state that is not often desiring peace on the whole. It's like if all of humanity was a state that was desiring peace, we would expand into a dreamlike, beautiful state. But just to be clear, I mean, like that is what would happen if we found a level of peace that exists within the universe. It's like love exists within the universe. So I don't see why it can't transform everything in a beautiful way. I guess the same is true for death, because death occurs when, I mean, death often needs to happen, and people don't let it happen. Like, they're just like, I have this boosted ego. Then you need to have an ego death. And you need to realize that you weren't connected to everything in any way. You were just inflated ego maniac, like pretending that everyone thought you were important and that you actually mattered in any way. I see that as a problem with many people. It's like, okay, you just need to chill out and not care so much about yourself and care about other people more. Because you'll realize that they were a part of you, and then you'll realize what you've done. You'll realize what you've done to them. Through technology, through yourself, we have so much realizing to do. It's insane. Like, realize what you've done to yourself. Realize what you've used to separate yourself. Like, technology is often what is used as the device to do the damage to the world. Like, people are pretending it's something that they can use, but it's not you. So it's like, it's not yourself. It can be, but it also is all consciousnesses, and it's an extension of yourself. All of technology is an extension of yourself. I'm just looking for peace and quiet, honestly. I mean, somewhere that I can get away from society, because I feel like I've been way too deep in it for way too long, and I've just lost my mind, and I haven't been able to find the peace that I desire, which is not often found through money. It's like, just realize that. You won't find peace in making money. Making money is actually making, like, evil, I think. Like, you're making more evil in the world if you're devoted to making money. Money is literally the root of all evil. I mean, I don't see any other way to explain it to myself in a way that I can sleep at night. It's like, okay, fine. I have to make evil in the world, but it's your fault. It's like, I'll make evil in the world, but only because you're making me. No, I'm just kidding. I won't make evil in the world, and I'll realize that that is true, though. I mean, it is true. You're, um, it's not evil. You're making people's dreams, um, but you're not, though. It's like, you have to realize the truth, because I'm sick of seeing it. It's like, I want peace and quiet, and I don't want to be. I want to be a part of things, and I want to be a part of things. Don't get me wrong, but it's hard to get somewhere where you're happy. Um, it feels like it feels like a yeah, it feels like a society, and everything just feels like a trap or something. And in many ways, it is a trap, but it's supposed to create you in a certain way. But I don't know if I have faith that positive creation can arise from something that is so flawed. And I'm just telling this to myself for my own peace of mind. It's like, I have been transforming myself ever since I realized that I could transform myself, in the sense that I always knew that I wanted to become something in response to the world telling me that I couldn't be something. I mean, create yourself from within, always. Because then you realize, then it's just not what you thought it was. It's like, I hate when people do that. They're just like, they think they know something. Everybody thinks they know something. But we're manifesting reality. So it's like, refuse to believe that you're manifesting the worst parts of reality if you're a good person. It's like, I'm not going to manifest the shitty parts of reality. I want to manifest something beautiful that people love, which is myself. Manifest yourself in a beautiful way. You are the dream of consciousness. You are everything. So why do you allow those terrible things within yourself? Don't forget them, but face them to transform them. Everything you can face, you can transform, because it is you. Face it, become aware of all that needs to be changed, and then change yourself in response to change it. Do that which is going to bring yourself peace. We are reflections of each other's internal state. Anything that we believe outside of us is an illusion. Anything that we believe is outside of us is an illusion. It can function as an illusion, but just remember it is you. Always remember it is you. It's often hard to remember that things are you. Like, I don't want to be the state of consciousness that is everything, but I am. Everything. Even the worst parts. It's like, transform them into something more peaceful, because we really need change at this time, I believe. I believe we really need to change. In many ways. The unmanifested space within you exists beyond space and time. It is in an eternal state of peace and happiness and love. No one can see for you but yourself. No one can see for me except for me. The world that I see around me is an illusion. It's not even real. People try to build things around you that keep you from seeing the truth, which are never, it's never a good thing to keep people hidden, keep people in a place of darkness. You don't want to be the one who's responsible for keeping people in darkness. Many people are lost in darkness, and they have to be a light for themselves. Mm. Oof. I don't think the internet will actually bring anybody peace. Definitely not quiet.